Hi guys, today, 5th and 7th period, you know that I won't be in class today, but I still want to make sure I got to do an on this day with you. Today, after the on this day, you will be just working in your chapter 32 ISN today. Tomorrow, I am going to check off where you are. So if you don't do anything in class, like you're going to get a participation grade based on what you did in class today, tomorrow. So I think that you should be through at least a couple sections of the work. So if you're not, then you're not going to get a good grade on that. So this is to ensure that you're actually working today and not goofing off in class. Tonight, your homework is to study the Quizlet. It's up. If you're not caught up on your Cornell notes, then you need to do that because you don't want to be stuck with that over the weekend. Remember, I told you they're long sections. Tomorrow, we'll work on our ISN and talk about the effects of the impact of the age of exploration. And then we don't have school Monday. Tuesday we'll review, and then Wednesday you'll take your last quiz. Last night was back to school night. It was super nice to meet a lot of your parents. Tomorrow in class we'll take down the timelines, and then you can take them home if you want. Okay, on this day in history, I was excited about this one because it's about Bonnie and Clyde. So on this day in history, police kill famous outlaws Bonnie and Clyde. So I don't know if you've heard of them before, but they are very interesting. And the way that Bonnie and Clyde were viewed to the public was super interesting and different. So, 1934, notorious criminals Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow were shot to death by Texas and Louisiana state police. So let's get some background. Bonnie and Clyde, they met when Bonnie was 19. She was actually married to someone else. She got married when she was 16, but that guy, her husband, he was serving time for murder, so she really liked the criminals. So they met. Actually, Clyde went to jail not long after they met, and she actually snuck some stuff in to help him escape from prison. And apparently it was true love after that because after he got paroled, they got back together and he found her pretty quickly, and they started this 2-year spree of a life of crime. So in 1932, that's when they really started to get after it and steal some stuff. They teamed up with various accomplices to rob a string of banks and stores across 5 different states. So that's pretty impressive, actually. Not that they were robbing people, but 5 different states. They were active in Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, New Mexico, and Louisiana. Let's see. They were cold-blooded criminals, which is why I think it's so interesting that they're romanticized in a lot of American society. They didn't hesitate to kill anyone who got in their way. They had this reputation of outlaws, which wasn't uncommon during this time. There were definitely different groups of people that were considered outlaws, but they also seemed like these romanticized folk-like heroes. Like the example was kind of like Robin Hood heroes. Also, their fame increased because Bonnie was a woman. A woman was an unlikely criminal during the time, so this was really, the media loved it. Bonnie and Clyde liked to take photos, which I'll show you on the next slide. I did a slide of pictures this time, but Bonnie and Clyde liked to take photos, and the police eventually released those to the media, and so then those got out, making them even more popular. So they're almost captured twice in the spring of 1933, but they escaped somehow both times. But then in January of 1934, they attacked East Ham Prison Farm in Texas to break an accomplice out. I believe the accomplice got caught up in one of those times they almost got captured. So they killed a guard during this encounter. And then Texas prison officials were like, this is enough. We need to catch these people. So they hired Texas Ranger Captain Frank Hammer to hunt them down, and he does. It takes him about 3 months to locate them. He finds them in Louisiana, and so him and a group of law officials from Louisiana and Texas, they hid in these bushes along the country road that led to the place wherever Bonnie and Clyde were, and they ambush them. So the car drives through, and they just open fire, and man, do they rip apart this car that they were driving in. They're killed from the gunfire, and their life of crime ends. But Bonnie and Clyde and their crew throughout their time killed 13 people, and 9 of them were police officers. But somehow they are still seen as these romantic figures in the United States. So here's just a couple pictures of Bonnie and Clyde, and then this is them, posing. He's actually like holding her up in this one. And then here's the car. It's not a very good picture of it. I couldn't find one that I really enjoyed. And then these are the law officers that were there, and the ones who fatally wounded Bonnie and Clyde. So again, today, please be good. I know 7th period, you might not have gotten all the notes yesterday. So if you want, you can grab a Chromebook and go ahead and go on the Chromebook onto my website where you can get the slides, because they're up already. And we can review that again tomorrow in class too. So don't freak out about that. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great time with Mr. Burgess today.